Hi everyone and welcome back to Rough Rider, where every week I talk writing, self-publishing, and making it as an author. So self-publishing authors usually use social media to promote their books. I think the main reason they do that is because it's free. It's free to post, it's free to interact with other people, but it requires a lot of time. You gotta track down your audience, you've gotta network with them, and it's a lot of effort, even if you're not spending money. So if you don't have time for that, you've got a day job and you really just can't be on social media all day, an alternative would be running paid ads on social media. So if you've never run a social media ad campaign for your book before, here's some tips on how to get started on two of the biggest platforms out there, which is Facebook and Twitter. So the first thing you're going to have to do is set your goals. Before you start actually advertising, you got to decide what you're going to be advertising. So ask yourself, am I trying to get people to just outright buy my book? Or am I trying to build up a following online? This is going to determine what kind of ads you're going to run, because Facebook and Twitter let you specify what the objectives of your ad campaign actually are. If you want to gain more followers on social media and therefore potential readers, you're going to be running ads that make your posts more visible and encourage people to interact with them. It's also going to drive people to your social media profile to follow you. But if you want to sell your book and not necessarily get more followers on social media, your ads are going to drive people to your book's product page on Amazon or to your actual author website. So keep in mind that paid ads on social media aren't like Amazon ads. I talked about that a few videos ago. Amazon treats you like an author. Social media treats you like a business. So when you're setting up ads on Facebook or Twitter, they might ask you things that really don't apply to you. They're geared more towards traditional businesses or online businesses, something like that, not really authors like you. And while I've said that self-publishing authors are entrepreneurs in a sense, these websites take it a little more literally than that. Don't get thrown off by this though. You're still selling a product just like these other businesses do. So whether your goal is to gain more followers, boost your visibility, or get people to actually buy your book, your goal is ultimately to grow your business as an author. So anyway, once you've decided what your goal is, whether it's to get more followers or to get people to buy your book, that's when you can really get started. For the sake of this video, we're going to assume that you're trying to sell your book. You're not really trying to get followers. So all of the example ad campaigns I'm about to show you are going to be for driving people to your Amazon product page, not trying to get more followers on Facebook or Twitter. This is all about book sales. So anyway, let's talk about advertising on Facebook. The first step is that you've got to have a business page. I'm not going to talk about making one here. I've mentioned in the past that I think it's a good idea for authors to have a separate page from their personal profile that is focused on their writing or on their books. You don't really want potential readers to be looking into your books, but then also seeing like your personal vacation photos or selfies and stuff like that. So you're going to want to have a separate page for yourself as the author or for your book or book series. But again, I'm not going to show you how to do that here. I'll put a link in the description with instructions on how to actually make a business page for yourself on Facebook. Okay, so once you have your business page set up on Facebook, here we are. We're on the page for the Aetherverse. I also have one for me as an author, but this is the one we're going to be using today. So on the left-hand side, you've got a little menu here. You're going to go to either Ad Center or Create Ads. Let's just go to Ad Center. Okay, if I had run an ad recently, the results would be showing here. I didn't though, so there's nothing to show you. But you're going to go to Create Ad up here. And now Facebook gives you a choice of 4 different types of ads to run. So you can do automated ads, which are personalized ads that are going to change over time to try to get better results. You can also create a new ad just completely from scratch. You can boost a post, or you could boost an Instagram post. Okay, so today let's just do automated ads. So when you decide to do that, it's going to ask you to answer a bunch of questions to create a personalized plan for you. So let's get started. A lot of these questions aren't really going to apply to you. So do you want people to come to your business location? No, not really. I'd prefer that people don't show up at my house. So let's say this doesn't apply to me. Okay, do you have a website? Yes, I do. And if you don't, I suggest that you get one. Do people buy products on your website? Not really. They're buying it on Amazon, not my website. So we're going to say no. Do people book appointments on your website? Nope. Do you get leads through your website? Meaning, do people put in inquiries about various products? No, not really. So we're going to say no. Do you want people to contact you? I like when people reach out, but that's not the goal of this ad campaign. So we're going to say no. Do you want people's contact information? And not really. No. So where is your audience located? This defaulted the United States, so great. Let's think of another English-speaking country. Let's say the United Kingdom. Okay, so let's add them in. UK. Oh, Ukraine. Okay, I think they have bigger things to worry about. They're not going to be reading my book. So United Kingdom. There it is. But you can go more specific than this. So you don't have to do it at a country level. You could do your state or province, or you could do your city. But we're going to stick with countries here. So US and UK. Okay, and then it's going to ask you some topics your audience might like. So this defaulted ones that I had already put in the past, but you get to pick your own. You can pick whatever interests you think your readership might like. So because this is a sci-fi novel, I'm just going to assume that the people who would read it are also going to like other sci-fi things. So we're going to put sci-fi movies. We're going to put Star Wars, Star Trek, Dune, which was fantastic, the new movie. You've got Ayn Rand. God knows I mentioned her enough times in the Aetherverse, so we'll throw that in there. Got the Sci-Fi Channel, ebooks, military science fiction, because why not? So you can pick your own. You can put in up to 10 of them, so we're just gonna go with this for now. And now you get to create your ad versions. So this is where you're gonna upload whatever media you wanna use. So whether it's a photo or a video, this is what's gonna show up for your ad. You could put anything you want. You could put a special ad image you've created or someone has made for you if you don't really know a lot about graphic design. You could also just put your book cover. That's probably the easiest thing to do. But here, just as an example, you can create up to 6 ads. I'm just gonna do 2 ads and I'm gonna use the same image for both of them. But you could use different ones. I would say try out a couple of different images instead of just using the same one for everything. But just for today, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, so now we're on the page where you start to put in all the details. So you're going to choose the goal of your ad. And for us, that is to basically get more shoppers to visit our website. When we say website, we really mean Amazon here. So it's going to ask you what the URL for your website is. This defaulted the Aetherverse homepage because that's what I have listed for the business page on Facebook. So we're going to change that to the actual Amazon product page. Okay, so now that's there. So now when people click on the button on the ad, it's going to take them to Amazon. Then you get to choose your ad versions and edit them individually. So we've got the 2 images here. I use the same one, but you could use different ones if you'd like. So you're going to go to edit. Here's the first ad. So we've got the headline here. I'm just going to put the book title, so the Aetherverse, and then it lets you put a description. So for today, I came up with a couple of examples for ad text to use. But here's the one that I came up with for today, just wrote up really quick. And then the button label is going to be Shop Now. And then here's the URL for the website. So it previews the ad over here so you can see what it looks like. So anyone who's on Facebook who's gonna see it, this is what's gonna show up on their timelines. So it has the ad text here, the image I used, and then if they click shop now or just kind of click anywhere down here, it's gonna take them to the Amazon page. So that's the first ad version. So hit save changes. Now we got the second one. I'm gonna edit that one. So I'm going to keep the headline the same. I'm using the same image as the first one, just again as an example, but you can use whatever you want. It doesn't have to be the same as the first ad that you made. Here we have the headline, going to keep that the same. Then for the ad text, going to use the second one that I came up with. So there you go. That's what I wrote up really quick for the second ad, and then going to keep the same down here with the link. So then here's the preview of the second ad version. The image is the same, but the text is different. And if they click on that link at the bottom, it's still going to take them to the same place. So hit save changes for that. If you decide you wanted to add more ad versions than just the ones you originally uploaded, you can always add more here, but I'm just going to use those 2 for now. Okay, then down at the bottom, we've got settings for your ad campaigns. So you've got the daily budget, which you can set to anything you want. If you're just starting out and this is your first campaign, I'd say set it small, be cheap right now, and see how it works out for you before you start deciding to spend a lot of money on it. So let's just say $3 right now. And then you get to pick the duration that your ad is running. For whatever reason, and I've tried this in 2 different browsers right now, it keeps showing up as continuous. It's not letting me put any specific dates. But normally it would let you choose a start and an end date for this. So it would have like one of these little edit things over here. You click on that and choose the start and end date. I don't know why it's not showing up here. But then you get to choose your ad category. None of these really are going to have anything to do with you. So you can just skip this. But this is stuff where it's going to identify it as having to do with politics or social issues or something like that, or housing, employment. None of that has to do with you. So just leave that blank. You don't need to do it. Then you're going to pick your audience. So this is showing what I had already put. I must have in the past set an age range. So it defaulted that here. I don't remember ever putting that, but it looks accurate to me. So it's got the location. I had put both the US and the UK. It's got an age range, 18 to 65 plus. That's fine with me. People who match, and then it has all the interests that I had previously listed. This is stuff that is going to default if you choose Advantage Audience. It's going to automatically adjust over time to reach more people. So we'll say that. Again, it would normally let you set how long it's running. I don't know why it's not letting me do it right now. And then it would also normally, and this is frustrating me because I would have liked to have shown you, but it normally would show what the estimated daily results are of your ad, like how many people are going to see it, how many people it's going to reach. It would estimate that here, but unfortunately I have nothing to show you. Something's going on with this and it's not working. You would pick your payment method, so you could use PayPal, you could use a credit card, anything you want, and then it'll sum up the payments down here. So once you've got all of that, you're just gonna hit promote now, and then your ad will start running during the date range you set for it. I am not going to click that because I don't feel like spending money right now on this because this is just an example. Okay, so that's advertising on Facebook. It's pretty straightforward. And then now we're gonna try it out with Twitter. Twitter ads are very similar. I'd say it asks you a little bit less than Facebook does, but it's pretty simple as well. Okay, but before you get started with Twitter, you gotta do pretty much what I was saying before, which is you gotta set up your page as a professional one as opposed to just a normal one. So you're gonna have to create a professional profile either for you as the author or for your book or book series. I'm not going to go into how to do that, but I'll put a link in the description that talks about how you can create a professional account for your book or you as the author, whatever you want to do on Twitter. But once you have that set up, you can go ahead and start creating your ads. So here we are on Twitter. Here is the page for the Aetherverse. So what you're going to do is you go to, on the left-hand side on the menu, you hit more, go to professional tools, and then Twitter ads. Now we're here in the Twitter Ads Center. So it's going to show any results from previous campaigns that you've run. So here's one here that I had run recently just because I wanted to be able to show you something. But anyway, this is going to show the results here for you. So it's how many people have seen it as impressions. So what we're going to be doing though is creating a new campaign. So you go up here to the top, you hit create campaign. So you're going to choose a campaign. You can do the simple one or the advanced one. Since this is probably your first time, if you're watching this video, then we're going to go with simple. So simple. Okay, so just like Facebook, it's going to ask you what your objective is. So you've got reach, you've got engagements, you've got followers and website traffic. For our purposes today, we're going to say website traffic because we're trying to get people to go to your Amazon page. But if you were trying to build a following, you were trying to get more people to follow you on Twitter, then you would do maybe reach, so more people see your posts, more engagement. The more people interact with your stuff, the more you're going to show up. So that's another thing you could do, or just blatantly get more followers, like just putting that there. But again, we're doing website traffic, so we're going to click that. And now you get to create your ad. You've got the ad text here. So we're gonna go with the text I had written for that original one. So there you go, same text. You're limited to the same amount of space as you would be for a normal tweet, so you don't wanna make it too long. So that's the text we're gonna use, and then you add your media. So you add pictures or videos or whatever you wanna do. So, okay, so we're gonna use the same image that I used for the one on Facebook. So there you go, hit save. Okay, and then after you've chosen that, you just go back. So it's starting to show the preview here on the side. So we've got the text and we've got the image. So you got to choose a headline. So we're going to do what we did before and just say the Aetherverse. And then you've got your website URL. So you're going to put your Amazon product page link here. And there you go. So that is the ad itself. When they click on this area of the ad, it's going to take them to Amazon to the product page. Then you hit next. And then here's when you start putting in all the details. So you've got the demographics, so you could choose by gender. Some people are probably gonna get mad that it just says the normal 2 here. But then after you choose the gender, I'm just gonna do any. Then you can put an age, so you could put all ages or an age range. Aetherverse has some adult stuff in it, so we're gonna say 18 and up. And then you can do your location. So it defaulted the United States. I'm just gonna keep it like that. Then you do your targeting features. So this is kind of interesting. So what you do is keywords, it's pretty basic, nothing surprising there. Like for the Aetherverse, I would probably put something like sci-fi. There you go. It'll show you what the estimated global audience size is for that keyword. So that's a pretty big one because it's really general. So that's sci-fi. Let's see if space opera comes up. Not all of them show it. Okay, so you could put that if you want, but it doesn't really, it must not be prominent enough that it could really show an estimated global audience size, but let's do it anyway. And then let's think about some other elements of the Aetherverse. It is libertarian for sure. So that is libertarian. You've got 8.5 million people. Anyway, you put more keywords than that, but you get the idea. And then this is the cool one for me, I think. So you could put follower lookalikes. So basically what that means is you're going to be choosing other people's accounts whose followers you think would be interested in this book. So when I think about what the message of the Aetherverse is, it's very political, it's very individualist, and it's very libertarian natured. I would say, who's someone that people like that's kind of on that side? Ron Paul. That's perfect. We'll go with Ron Paul. Does he come up? Here he is. So he's got a whole lot of people that follow him. And what it means is that now this ad is going to be showing up for people who like Ron Paul. Yeah, so you get the idea. We put stuff like that. So then you could choose your operating system. I don't see why you would really want to do that for this at least. So we're going to leave that alone. And then you've also got interests. So this has a list of them here. Does it have anything for books? Yeah, here it is. Okay, so you've got a bunch of different book genres. I am somewhat personally offended that it doesn't have sci-fi here. Well, I guess you're just going to be stuck with some general book stuff here because it doesn't seem to have everything that I think it should have. So, okay, so there you go, interests, and then language. So you could put the language if you want. So that's all of those. And then you're going to go down to budget and schedule. So you get to choose your daily budget. Again, just like I said with Facebook, keep it small at first because there's no point in wasting a lot of money if you don't really know what you're doing yet. So let's say $5 every day, and then at least this one's working for me. I can put the date range, so it just defaulted to like a 2-week time frame, so there you go. But you just set it to whatever you want. You put your payment information in, and then down here you would just hit launch campaign, and that's it. But before you do that, you could see what your audience summary is. So it's showing you what your reach potential is. This is the number of people you could potentially reach with it. It doesn't mean that you're actually going to reach that many people, but that is the potential number of people that could see your ad. And then it just sums it up with what you put before. So anyway, if all of that looks good to you, you just go to launch campaign and then you're done. But I'm not going to do that now. I'll just show you the results of the one that I had already run because I don't feel like paying more right now. So anyway, while your campaign is running and after, you should check the results of it. You can usually see the results in real time. You can check it every day if you want to, or you could just wait till the ad campaign's over and then just see how it worked out. I don't have any results to show you from Facebook, but I can show you the Twitter ones because I ran one recently just as an example again. I didn't do a whole lot of research to really like optimize it or anything. This was just an example and I set the budget really low. So anyway, we are back on the ads manager page. So here are the campaigns that I had. Here's the recent one for the Aetherverse. Clicking on that, and then this is the ad that was used in it. Here it shows all your metrics, it shows your impressions, shows the amount of money you spent, and it shows it by day because you're paying every time someone clicks on it. So some days you might spend less than others. But you should look at all of this and see kind of how it worked out. See how many people it reached, and even more than that, you got to check how many people actually clicked on it because that's going to show you if this ad was good. It doesn't really matter if not as many people saw it because what you really want is for people to click on it. So if you see that it had an extremely low click-through rate, maybe a lot of people saw it, but almost no one clicked on it, there's something wrong with that ad. Either the image is boring or ugly, or the text is just not interesting at all, and it's not compelling people to click on that link and check out more on Amazon. So you're gonna have to look at that kind of stuff. But then what you should also do is check Amazon and see how many sales you got. Because if you see that a lot of people are going to your Amazon page by clicking on the link in your ad, like the click-through rate was reasonably high. So you got a lot of people to click on it and go to Amazon, but then it never really resulted in any sales. You got to think about a couple of things about how your product page is. So this means that your product page is probably the problem, not really the ads. If you used your book cover image for your ad, then and you still got people to click on it, then it's probably not the cover image that's the problem. It's probably just the product description. It's either that is not compelling enough to get someone to want to buy and read your book, or the reviews are bad, or there's just not a lot of them. So it's going to help you to figure out what you need to focus on to improve things in the future. If you see that the results of the ad are pretty good, but there's no sales, then that means means that the problem is on the book's end or the product page's end. If the ad just didn't really have anyone interact with it at all, then the ad campaign wasn't very good. So just look at these things, figure out what the problem was, and then really just tweak it for the future, because you are spending money on this and you don't want to waste it. So there you go. That's my rundown of running social media ads on Facebook and Twitter. I didn't feel like making this video the other day just because it is kind of a dry subject and it's kind of a pain for me to edit it with all of the screen shares. But hopefully that may have helped you if you were ever thinking about running a campaign like this on social media. It's really not that hard. The only thing is that you will have to invest some money. But again, you don't have to set your budget very high. So even if you just set aside maybe $20 a month just to run this, that's still going to show your book to people who otherwise wouldn't have seen it unless you put in a ton of work on social media trying to reach people. And if you don't have that kind of time, or you just don't have the attention span, or networking's just not your thing, it's a good way to get your book out there without having to put in all of that work into interacting with people individually. So try it out, see how it worked. If you've ever run one yourself and you had a good result from it, or it just didn't work, put a comment, because I'm just curious to see how that might have worked out for you. Or even just give your opinion on running ads like this. Like if you feel like it is a waste of money for you and you'd prefer to interact with people, then explain why, because that's interesting to me too. So yeah, if you found this interesting, please like and subscribe. You can check out the blog post. I have a link in the description as always. And yeah, thank you for watching. God bless.